hate adjusting my camera every time. Anyway, what's up, BoTube? You're probably wondering why most of the time I'm in bed, jammies, or... Yeah, most of the time I'm a sick child. I get injured easily. I bruise like a peach. I normally get sick partially easily. The only reason I say this recently I haven't gotten sick. But I don't want to risk it with my history. But anyway, this is my reaction rant. Sorry about that weird ass beginning. And that weird sound was my dog flopping his ears. What are you doing, Odes? Thank you. But anyway, the hell is he doing? What are you doing? Weird. But anyway, this is my reaction rant to... Anyway, let me find my book. Book. Okay. Fear the Walking Dead, Season 2, Episode 5. I know that Episode 6 just premiered last night, but I still have not made a reaction rant to Episode 5, titled Captive, which premiered on Mother's Day, La Mama Day. So, let's get to this. I'm not gonna get into too much detail from the beginning, because it's kind of nonsense stuff, considering, you know, guy cooks Alicia food, she doesn't eat it, another chick steals it. But she does get locked inside a galley by that same chick that stole her food. And Alicia manages to venture off through an unlocked door and finds herself on the ship's bow, like with no way to escape, right? And Jack, he's all warning Alicia that she's not allowed to roam freely about, right? And ushers her back inside. But, you know, she's worried about her family, so she demands to know if her family made it to safety, right? So Jack agrees, you know, I'll find out for you. And it's that moment where I actually think Jack is genuine when it comes to his feelings for Alicia, kind of, because he could just say no. If he was truly playing Alicia with the radio thing, he wouldn't care so much to satisfy Alicia's needs. Like... Hang on. There you go. He wouldn't really care. You know what I mean? Like, if it really was a ploy, if Connor made Jack use the radio to just, you know, to play Alicia, he wouldn't care so much about her safety, her well-being, or the fact that he pretty much not really, like, serves her hand and foot, but when she asks for something, he instantly does it, you know? It's like, I want to know my family's safe. I'll find out for you, you know what I mean? It's like, I think he's genuine with his feelings, but at the same time, he's still Connor's little lackey, you know what I mean? Anyway, back on the cabin of the Abigail, Daniel is treating the wound that Reed sustained from the crowbar. Remember, forgot who it was. I think it was Travis. Travis is the one, I think it was Travis that left the crowbar near Daniel when he was trying to, like, escape. And so, while he's treating Reed's wounds, Reed actually tells Daniel that his brother Connor has at least 12 men and at least 5 boats, and they will come looking for Reed if he doesn't answer, right? And so, Daniel just leaves Reed all tied up in the chair, and Chris, he's insistent on guarding Reed, so Daniel lets him guard right outside Reed's door, right? And, back to Strand, because remember, Strand was, like, almost on the verge of hypothermia, you know what I mean? He's recovering in the wheelhouse, and, Daniel tells Madison that they could use Reed's relationship to his brother Connor as pretty much leverage over Connor, right? And so, they use the radar on the Abigail to look for a cluster of 5 boats, because remember, Reed said that his brother Connor has at least 12 men and 5 boats. So, they use the radar to pretty much find that cluster of 5 boats, right? And when they do, Madison steers the Abigail north. Luis, on the other hand, orders Madison to turn the ship around because he's pretty much trying to remind her, you know, they have only a small window of opportunity to cross into Mexico. And Madison, you know, she's not going to leave her family behind. I mean, her man has been taken by these people. Her daughter, of course, has been taken by these people. So she refuses to abandon her family. And in a way, she kind of uses leverage over Strand, because she's like, I'm not going to abandon my family. Strand, Was it a good idea if I got you out of that water or not? Maybe I should have just left you there to die of hypothermia, right? And because she pretty much says that to Strand in her own way, that's my version of what she said anyway. But anyway, because of that, Strand agrees to give Madison at least half a day to rescue Travis and Alicia, right? And I thought that was freaking hilarious, because it's like, if you don't let me get my man and my daughter, if you don't let me get my daughter and my man, maybe I should just leave you back out there in the ocean. Maybe I should have never got you out there at all, huh, Strand? Huh? Leave you in there for hypothermia? I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. Anyway, I love this. And by the way, I just finished eating, like, brunch, and I'm, like, eating cookies now. But anyway, hang on for a sec. Sorry, guys, I saw something very fascinating on TV, and I was like, oh, I want to watch. But anyway, hang on. There you go. Anyway, Luis is all talking to Strand in Spanish, saying, you know, from what I remember, because my Spanish sucks, I think Luis was trying to tell Strand that someone's waiting for them, and that they need to go or something like that, and, Strand says he would understand, or something like that, and Luis also counters that they only have enough money for, like, 2 people to cross the border to Baja, and Strand pretty much replies back that everything is a negotiation or something like that, because I remember that particular line only because they mentioned that same line on Talking Dead for this episode, so that's the only line I knew. But during that whole conversation, apparently Daniel was pretty much eavesdropping on the whole entire thing, right? And, Daniel then advises, Madison to let Nick and Chris help fight Connor's group. And pretty much, like, you know, let them help fight the group. Stop treating them like kids. But unfortunately, Madison ignores every and all advice to treat these 2 as adults and not children. But anyway, Jack pretty much instructs Alicia back over Connor's area. Jack instructs Alicia to scan the radar for any mid-size vessels that his people could actually hijack. Just kind of like what they did with the Abigail, you know what I mean? And then we finally get to see what happened to poor Travis. Travis finally wakes up and he's in his cell and he's attempting to pick a lock, but unfortunately a woman approaches. This was the funny part. When I saw the Talking Dead episode, was it Blood in the Streets? It was either episode 3 or 4, where we encountered Alex and Jake. You remember those 2? And when I watched the Talking Dead episode, there was a survey saying, will we see Alex again and all that stuff? I voted yes. It's like, there's no way we're not going to see Alex. I mean, there's a lot of ships out there that could possibly see Alex and Jake on time before at least before Alex dies. I wasn't sure about Jake, because Jake's already half burned, right? And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because when Travis wakes up from his cell and tries to pick a lock, the woman who approaches him is Alex! I called it! Alex is alive, she showed up, and she's probably gonna get revenge for getting stranded out in the middle of the ocean with a half-burned Jake. But anyway, Alex pretty much tells Travis that she was forced to kill Jake on the raft because, you know, he was practically half dead when we first saw Jake, and she had no choice but to, unfortunately, kill him. And she also reveals that Connor was the one that found her in the middle of the ocean on her little raft and saved her life. And she also revealed that because she was mad at everyone on the Abigail for pretty much, you know, snipping that rope and leaving them stranded, she told Connor how to find the Abigail. And she specifically asked Connor to bring Travis to her. I think. That's what I remember. But the main thing I remember is that Alex had to kill Jake because he was practically half dying already. Connor was the one that found her and saved her, and she is the one that told Connor how to find the Abigail. But anyway, back on the wheelhouse, Madison forbids Strand from sending Nick on any more errands. Because, you know, keep this in mind, Strand did send Nick off in the middle of the night to find Luis. So, Strand tries to argue that. He's like, Nick knows how to survive. and he sees potential in Nick, right? The moment he first met him. But Madison will tell Strand that he has never seen Nick when he was in the middle of his addiction. Which is true. When Strand first met Nick, he wasn't a drug addict. He was completely sobered up, and not really completely, but he was sobered up. So Madison does have a point. Strand has never seen Nick in his lowest, especially in his throes of addiction. And she's kind of worried that Nick might be using again, because keep this in mind, in the previous episode when we first met Alex, he did find a big amount of drugs. I forgot, it was amoxicillin? It might have been amoxicillin that he found. I don't know if he gave all that medicine to Ophelia, or he kept it for himself. I don't know. So I do not blame Madison at all for being kind of worried, considering we did see him find a good chunk of amoxicillin. And we don't know if he actually gave all of it or some of it to Ophelia, or kept it all for himself, or most of it. I don't know. So he might be using again. You never know. But anyway, Jack manages to spot Abigail on the radar because, he asked Alicia to look for any vessels, and he manages to find the Abigail on the radar. And Alicia explodes at Jack when she realizes Reed could not have possibly delivered her family to safety in such a short amount of time, right? And Jack, unfortunately, he admits that Reed sometimes kills the passengers after hijacking their ships. And because I honestly think this is out of pure, genuine feelings, because after Alicia explodes at Jack, and Jack admitting that Reed sometimes kills passengers, he actually offers to help Alicia find her family. So I think he does have genuine feelings for Alicia at this point, because he offered to make sure to find out right away if her family made it to safety. He offered to help find her family and all that stuff. That can't be pure genuine unless it has to be pure genuine. If it's not, then he's a one hell of an actor. Really, he really is. Anyway, back on the Abigail. Madison forbids Nick from pulling any more stunts like that no matter what. And which is kind of a small detail, but I think that might come back and bite her in the ass sooner or later, because apocalypse or not, if kids, if you forbid them from doing something, especially something they're good at doing, which is kind of what... He's really good at surviving, and she's forbidding him from doing that. Apocalypse or not, you forbid your kid from doing something, especially something they really want to do, they're just itching to do it anyway, because it's like, you're forbidding me, I'm gonna like rebel against you and all that stuff, right? So that might bite her in the ass sooner or later, and I am running out of time, so I'm gonna have a part 2 video on this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.